Hey learners, welcome back to another lesson. In this lesson, we'll learn about nutrition. So we'll learn about the different ways that organisms get their energy and fuel. So we know that nutrition is one of the major characteristics of living things. But does that mean that all organisms get their energy and fuel the same way? So this video is going to answer some of the questions you might be wondering about nutrition. So whether it's a tiny bacterium or a giant blue whale, every single organism on Earth needs fuel. Now, this is one of the necessary characteristics of all living things. This fuel is what helps organisms to grow, to move, to reproduce, and most importantly, to stay alive. So, what exactly is nutrition? Nutrition is the process by which living organisms use food to sustain life. So, functions like growth and repair, movement, reproduction, and ultimately energy. This process is both biochemical and physiological. Biochemical, like respiration and digestion, and physiological in the sense of movement and reproduction. Don't let the fancy words confuse you. Let's look at mosquitoes for an example. Did you know that only female Anopheles mosquitoes bite humans? Yes, and this biting isn't just random. They need human blood to be able to reproduce. So, our blood gives them the proteins and other nutrients that they need to develop their eggs. This almost makes you hate them a little less. Let's look at the classification of nutrition, the main reason why we're learning about nutrition. So, when it comes to nutrition, all living organisms can be divided into two major groups. So, that means we have two main modes of nutrition. We have the make your own group called the Autotrophs and the go get it group called the Heterotrophs. So we have autotrophic and heterotrophic modes of nutrition. Now, from the prefixes, we can have an idea of what they're trying to explain. For example, auto in autotrophs means self, and hetero in heterotroph means other or different. Try to remember this little tidbit of information as we explore each one of these modes of nutrition. So, autotrophic nutrition. This group includes the make it your own organisms, so the autotrophs. The word auto means self and troph means nourishment. So the name literally means self feeders or self nourishers. Autotrophs are organisms that can produce their own food from simple inorganic substances like carbon dioxide and water. They are the primary producers in any ecosystem. They form the base of every food chain. They are capable of creating complex organic compounds like glucose and sugars from simple inorganic ones. Autotrophs can be grouped into two major types. We have the photoautotrophs and the chemoautotrophs or the chemosynthesizers. Photoautotrophs use light energy to perform photosynthesis and they transform sunlight into chemical energy or sugar. So they are basically tiny edible solar panels. Organisms in this group include plants, algae, and cyanobacteria. You can get a clue from the term photo. So photo means light. Next, we have chemoautotrophs. Chemo meaning chemical. Chemoautotrophs use energy obtained from oxidizing inorganic chemical compounds like hydrogen sulfide to make their food. They are like nature's tiny chemical batteries. Chemoautotrophs are usually found in places that have no light, such as deep sea vents and caves. So this is for autotrophic nutrition. Let's learn about heterotrophic nutrition. Heterotrophs belong in the go get it group. So the word hetero means other, and the word troph means nourishment. This means other feeders. Heterotrophs are organisms that cannot synthesize their own food and must obtain energy and organic molecules by consuming other organisms or their byproducts. They are consumers in the ecosystem, so they rely directly or indirectly on autotrophs for food. They consume preformed complex inorganic molecules like carbohydrates, proteins, and fats from their food source. So, heterotrophs include all animals, and yes, you and I are included, fungi, and microorganisms. Heterotrophic nutrition can be classified into three main types based on how they obtain their food. So we have Holozoic nutrition, Saprophytic nutrition, or Saprotrophic nutrition, and then we have Parasitic nutrition. Holozoic nutrition involves ingesting solid food, digesting it internally, and then absorbing the nutrients. Examples include humans, lions, cows, etc. This group can also be classified into omnivores, carnivores, and herbivores. Omnivores are organisms that eat both plant material and animal material as their source of food. Carnivores strictly depend on only animals or they only eat meat as their source of food. And then herbivores are organisms that eat just plant material as their source of food. If any of these terms confuse you, let me know in the comment section so I can help you clarify better. Next, we have saprophytic nutrition. Organisms in this class feed on dead and decaying organic matter. They secrete powerful enzymes externally to break down the food before absorbing the resulting liquid nutrients. You can find organisms like fungi. An example of this is mushroom and some bacteria in this class. They are nature's essential recyclers. So they help in the breakdown of dead animals, of dead plants, and help to recycle nutrients both into the soil and into the air. And then finally, we have parasitic nutrition. These are organisms that obtain nutrients from another living organism. This living organism is called the host. Parasites often cause the host harm. Organisms in this class include tapeworms, fleas, and some disease causing bacteria. And we also have certain parasitic plants like mistletoe. We now know that there are two major modes of nutrition: heterotrophic nutrition and autotrophic nutrition. And let's look at a comparison between the two. This way, we can be certain and avoid any mix up. So, autotrophs are often called producers. Heterotrophs are often called consumers. Autotroph means self-feeder, and heterotroph means other feeder. Autotrophs can make their own food from inorganic materials. Heterotrophs consume pre-made organic material. Autotrophs get their energy source from inorganic materials like carbon dioxide and water. And heterotrophs get their energy source from organic molecules that they consume as food. A major example of autotroph is plants, and a major example of heterotroph is animals. Other examples of autotrophs include algae and chemosynthetic bacteria like cyanobacteria. Other examples of heterotroph include fungi and some protists. Also, remember, we have two types of autotrophs. We have photoautotrophs that use light and chemoautotrophs that use chemicals. And then we have Holozoic heterotrophs, we have saprophytic heterotrophs, and we have parasitic heterotrophs. So let's do a fun quiz. Answer these questions in your notes, or you can leave a comment in the comment section. How would you classify a mushroom that grows on a decaying log? Would you call it an autotroph or a heterotroph? Next question. What is the main energy source for a photoautotroph? And then finally, are humans an example of Holozoic, Saprophytic, or Parasitic nutrition? So if you're sure of your answer, leave your answer in the comment section. That's it for this video. If you found this video helpful, hit the like button, hit the share button, and share this knowledge with your friend. And don't forget to subscribe to help support this channel.